Make it your own, basically. Like, put anything on it. That's cool too. What the hell is that, man?
It's a snake. It's my snake. You feel me? It's feeding time. Uh-oh.
Welcome to Oddball. I'm Amin Elhassan. Filling in for Charlotte Wilder, who's out on assignment, JuJu Gotti. A little later, we'll welcome Charlotte back to do a little bit of bold or spicy. Is it bold and spicy? Bold, spicy, one of those things.
Spicy.
But first, the headlines. Team USA closed out the group phase of the 2023 FIBA World Cup Sunday with a loss, their first of the tournament, falling 110-104 to Lithuania in Manila.
The not-so-thriller in Manila.
Anthony Edwards scored a game-high 35 points, but it wasn't enough to overcome the slow start. Lithuania dropped 31 points on the U.S. in the first quarter, while the Americans only managed to round her up 12. The metric system, though. Like, if we do the conversion, the inches and pounds, okay. Well, Steve Kerr said after the game, they just punched us in the mouth. They made every shot. They executed. I don't think it was a case of us not being ready, but them playing perfect first quarter and us understanding how hard we'll have to play to accomplish our goal.
Where is Draymond Money Green when you need him?
A punch in the mouth.
Now, before you get your panties in a bunch, yes, they demolished Italy in the quarterfinals earlier today. So sorry, Donald Trump, Jesse Walters, Megyn Kelly, Lauren Ingram, Noah Lyles. You're going to have to put that Team USA hate on pause.
As for our neighbors in the north, Team Canada qualified for the Olympics for the first time since the year 2000 by defeating Spain. Here's Team Canada star RJ Barrett seen celebrating after their win. Look how happy he is. It's a shame all that's going to end when he goes back to wearing a Knicks jersey.
Bing bong.
We love to make fun of the Knicks, man. Come on. This is the part where Charlotte begs to still be able to get into Madison Square Garden.
On behalf of Charlotte Wilder, I would like to say, please let her in the Garden. Yes, the Madison Square one, today. Let her in there. She is good for you.
They got JuJu doing the coward stuff too, man. Why y'all so scared?
Ain't nobody scared. Please, just let her in. You feel me? She deserves it. Just like we all deserve these. Moving on.
Staying with Canada, Dillon Brooks feels refreshed with Canadian blood after a tough year. After posting 22 points and 5 rebounds in Canada's dramatic victory over Spain, Dillon Brooks credited the best game of his career to playing for his national team, telling Eurohoops.net, coming off a tough year with my old squad, it was great having a refresh with Canadian blood. Guys who believe in me, guys who trust in me. It was great to win this game in great fashion. You know who didn't believe in him? This lady right here. Remember her? It's not real. I've been watching that snake the whole time.
Calm down. LeBron James' agent, Rich Paul, went on Gil's Arena and refuted Stephen A. Smith's claim that the ESPN personality told him to get the bleep out of his face over Michael Jordan and LeBron James debate. Who is capped out? I don't know who capped, man. What do you think of me? Was I supposed to keep reading? Who knows?
I'm glad we have this brand new breaking news, JuJu. I've never heard this argument before. LeBron versus Jordan, who's better? Oh, thank God, man. Like, I've been waiting all summer long. People are talking about everything else. No one ever seems to bring up LeBron versus Jordan.
Never.
It's a new one.
Tennis world #1 men's player Carlos Alcaraz posted a picture with recording artist J Balvin and Miami Heat's Jimmy Butler. There's no joke here. I just wanted to show you guys these brothers' hats.
The dope hat.
Dope is a good word. Like you sell dope if you wear one. I didn't hear anything. I didn't talk to anybody. I don't know anything about the sort.
Two-time NBA champion Danny Green went also on Gilbert Arenas' podcast. Man, Gilbert and Josiah have been working hard, man.
Yeah.
And he revealed that Kawhi Leonard has grown in his leadership over the years. Green, who played with Leonard as a member of the San Antonio Spurs and then also with the Toronto Raptors, stated, quote, as he won in Toronto and got to LA, I think he started to become more vocal. And because he had to be, he was on the sidelines some. He had to be in the huddles more with some of the injuries he's had. Coming from San Antonio to being in Toronto, you could see him come out of his shell more. That's him out of his shell? Look, I know it's easy to make fun of Kawhi for being quiet. And that's exactly why we're going to do it right now. I got my microphone with me. Oh, Kawhi's so quiet, he told a church mouse to keep it down.
Kawhi is so quiet, Samsung is replacing the mute button with a Kawhi button.
Hey, Kawhi Leonard is so quiet, he thought the movie A Quiet Place was an unauthorized biography about him.
You can't spell Kawhi without Kawhi-et.
There it is. Shout out to Buddy Love. In an Oddball exclusive, new pictures surfaced over the weekend of Zion Williamson's off-season workout regimen. I know most of the internet has seen these pics of Zion already, working out in what appears to be a kitchen, but these pics were actually cropped. We here at Oddball did the investigative journalism to unearth the undoctored photos. Here we are. There it is, yep, doing a chest press, and nothing like a little motivation. You see that little ham just out of reach there. Go ahead, Zion. Keep pumping. You'll get to it. Yep. Looks like a regular seated row, but when we expand it, we see little cake on the high shelf. You're trying to pull it down. That's how you keep them motivated. And here we go. Cable row, more like bring that whole fridge over to me. Bring it to me. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We managed to do Zion fat jokes, Kawhi's quiet jokes, and RJ Barrett is sad he plays for the Knicks jokes, all in the same program. Coming up next, bold or spicy.
Let Charlotte in the garden.
All right, we're back with another edition of Bold and / or Spicy, the game that I'm still not sure what it is. We read statements, we rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is like bland and 10 is muy caliente, as they say down here in the 305. Charlotte, are you ready to go?
No, because I don't have the questions for you.
Okay, then probably should have stopped me on the intro when I said, are we ready to go? 5,
but now
4,
I
3,
have
2,
them,
1.
so let's do it.
Okay, there we go. All right. There's no great true rebounder like Ben Wallace or Dennis Rodman in the NBA today. No great true rebounder like Ben Wallace or Dennis Rodman in the NBA today.
I think that's pretty bold. I think that's like a... Okay, I'm going to give that a 7 because the top 5 rebounders of all time are all guys who are not playing right now. But you do have players like Jokic and now I'm blanking on literally any other rebounder who's ever
Andre
played.
Drummond is a great rebounder. He's still playing.
Yeah, and Sabonis. I mean,
Yep.
you know, you've got guys who are doing their best. So maybe they haven't like cracked the top 5 yet. So I guess but they're doing a good job.
It's a longevity play, you know?
Yeah.
All
right. Are you ready, Amin?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Tyrese Halliburton will finish in the top 3 in MVP voting.
Jeez, these ones are hard. We had one a few episodes ago, or maybe it was 7 years ago, or maybe it still hasn't aired yet. but we had one that asked Shai Gilgeous-Alexander as MVP, and I think it's the same basic tenet. You got to play great, and I think Tyrese Halliburton's going to play great, but your team has to win a certain amount of games, which means top 3 in your conference or top 4 at least, and around 50-plus wins. I just don't think Indiana is poised to make that kind of leap. So I'm going to call that a very spicy take. Not because of you, Tyrese Halliburton, who I like to call the last hope, because he is the last pure point guard we have in the NBA as far as of the young generation. I'm going to call that a 9. It's a 9 out of 10 spicy. Yeah, I just don't think the Pacers are going to be that good.
Okay.
All right. Next one for you. The Warriors. Oh, wow. The Warriors would have more rings if they had kept Harrison Barnes instead of getting Kevin Durant. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
This one's gonna get them angry. Clip this one for social. The Warriors would have more rings if they kept Harrison Barnes instead of getting Kevin Durant.
Well, Harrison Barnes is still pretty sore about it, isn't he? I mean, this is very spicy. He did not play well in 2016 against the Cavs, and then you bring in KD and they win 2. So I don't think that's very spicy. That's a very, very, very hot take.
So, number?
12.
12 out of 10. Here's the thing. Here's the only way I can justify this is if Harrison Barnes had stayed, they would have stayed together. And so, because Kevin Durant left, right? He played 3 years. Won the first 2 years, the third year he gets hurt, and then he leaves. Harrison Barnes more than likely would have stayed, and so.
But the Warriors won without KD anyway.
I know. I'm not giving KD all the credit. I'm just saying Harrison Barnes staying would have extended that window of them winning because they just would have kept it together. So.
Okay. All right.
But no, it is a 12 out of 10. That's hogwash, malarkey. All right.
Okay. Here's one for you. This will be Tom Thibodeau's last season in New York.
2 out of 10. 2 out of 10, and here's why. And I love you, Tibbs, but we know that organization, if things don't go the way they want it to, which is very, very, very possible and likely, then immediately there needs to be a fall guy, even though this guy just took you to the second round for only the second time in about 20 years. Somehow they're going to need a fall guy, and the fall guy will be Tibbs. So that's why I don't think that take is spicy at all. I give it a 2 out of 10 simply because I don't think the Knicks are going to have a fall apart season. So I don't think it's actually going to happen, but 2 out of 10, yep.
Do you think he'd get hired immediately somewhere else if he were fired?
No. I think he would sit out until he got all his money, and then, then he'd eventually get a job somewhere else. All right, last one for you, Charlotte. Mm-hmm. Wow, I whistled when I said Charlotte. Do you guys hear that? I sounded like Mr. Herbert on Family Guy. Kyle Kuzma's pregame fits helped him get his $102 million extension. Kyle Kuzma's pregame fits helped him get his $102 million extension. And I love how, when written out, they put both a dollar sign and dollar in the word. It says $100 million extension.
$100 million. You know what? I'm going to say that this isn't that spicy. This is a 3 because, as they say, dress for the job you want. And Kuzma certainly did that with his Balenciaga sweaters and his, he always has a bunch of fringe and frayed items of clothing. And I think that probably did go a long way towards making them be like, well, he is an LA guy, so maybe we should just keep him around.
No. If anything,
that's a more fun answer.
Yeah, if anything, he was underpaid because of his fits. It's you're worth 150, but I've seen the way you dress. You gotta knock that down to 100. What's my last one?
Your last one is Carmelo Anthony teases coming out of retirement by the All-Star break.
1.
Oh, really?
I could see Melo giving it one last go-around because someone called, and Probably like the Knicks or the Nets or somewhere like that. Like maybe the Wizards. Like, hey, can we sell some seats? Can we sell some tickets? Can we get some excitement going there? I could see Melo coming back for more, for sure.
Now I really hope it happens.
What?
And now I really hope it happens.
Then they'll play this clip, and everyone's like, Amin knew. And he named the teams.
Wow.
But then,
and
if,
he's
but if he
on
doesn't
the
go
Wizards.
to one of those teams, you guys will edit that part out. And just like, yeah.
Quick, name every NBA team.
Name every NBA team?
So that if Melo comes out of retirement, you can say you got it right.
Oh, okay. And then he'll go to the Celtics. And then he'll go to the Sixers. And then he'll go to the Raptors. And then he'll go to the Hornets. And then he comes to the Heat. And then he goes to the Magic. And then he ends up on the Hornets. And then, of course, he fulfills the prophecy, becomes an Atlanta Hawk for real this time. And then he goes to the Bucks. And then he ends up a Chicago Bull. And then, Cavaliers, where it all was supposed to happen years ago. And then, watch this, Detroit basketball. And then Tyrese Halliburton gets a running mate. He plays for Indiana. And then Sam Presti says, let's run it back in OKC. And then Zion gets a chubby brother in arms. He goes to New Orleans. And then right down there to Houston to go and grift and get more money. And then Victor Wembanyama gets a big brother in San Antonio. And then, oh man, the Mormons ain't seen nothing yet until they seen my man Carmelo in a Jazz jersey. And then, after the Dame deal falls apart, bring Melo back to Portland. And then, look, Durant's a DMV area guy. Guess who else is one? Melo, up the road from Baltimore. Bring him to Phoenix. And then, he's already been a Laker. Let him be a Clipper now. And then, he goes back to the Lakers. And then, look, you already got one guy from the Banana Boat up in Golden State, and Chris Paul. You bring Melo. Now we got two guys in the Banana Boat. And then Melo lights the beam up in Sacramento. Did I miss any? Memphis. And then he ends up in Memphis.
And Denver.
Oh, Denver. Then he brings it back to where it all began. Denver Nuggets, and he gets to fight Joker for, I just mixed Jokovic and Joker. They get to fight for the jersey number because, they both wear 15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was impressive. Well done.
Ja Morant. There it is. Thank you. Thanks. And they say he cheats at hoop grids. Out of here.
I never thought you cheated at hoop grids.
Now, Juju, I see there was some controversy going on in the WNBA this past week. What is this about between the Chicago Sky and Seattle, is it?
Absolutely. The Sky of Chicago and the Storm of Seattle. Holy moly. It was a bomb burner. I see what you did there, brother. But the entire game, the Seattle Storm, they was handing it to them sisters. I mean, left and right, Gold Mamba here, bam, like Sammy Sam there, Whitcomb, bam, bam, three-pointer. Oh my goodness, they was looking better than they have all season, which they have already been eliminated for the playoffs. You feel me? Doggy ear that. But the end of the game, they was down only 2 possessions. Chicago fought all the way back and took over the game once again, as they usually do in late game situations. Salute to Courtney Williams. I see you, sister. But it was 15 seconds on the clock. The Storm were down 2 possessions. They decided to not go for it. They packed it in as if they were down an insurmountable lead. I don't understand what was going on there. Brother, can you please shed some light? Because I'm a WNBA purist and enthusiast, you feel me? Salute to my sister Ryan Howard. But I need your intake on it because You've been doing this for a long time, and you've been seeing a lot of these situations. Have you ever seen anything like this, brother?
Well, as I'm looking at the film right here, Juju, the most fascinating thing is when they get possession of the ball, within one dribble, you have 4 Seattle players who are above the three-point line going down the court, while you have 4 Chicago players who are closer to the ball, meaning a quick hit-ahead pass, and you get a 4-on-1 break with plenty of time to score, to go quick 2, to go quick 3, regardless. And yet the point guard just kind of dribbles it up. Now, she does hit ahead to this player here in the corner. Who is that?
I think that's Jordan Horston. Salute the Tennessee Volunteers. I see y'all.
Now, instead of jacking up a shot, which is what we usually see players who are down by a lot in a game they've given up in, they're just trying to stat pad. She kind of just dribbles and then looks at the sideline and shrugs, what am I supposed to be doing? And takes a hard dribble towards the basket, but doesn't actually attempt to score. So I kind of feel like, in my experience of basketball watching, if you're down, especially in the last 5 to 10 years with the advent of the three-point shot, it's kind of a never say never. You just go, you jack, maybe it goes in, maybe it doesn't go in, but you give it a try. But even if you don't believe at all, as an individual, aren't you motivated to say, let me get 2 more points here? They're not going to play any defense because they don't want to accidentally foul me. Why wouldn't you just go up and take a shot or lay it up or whatever? Just one for the stat books, you know?
Yeah, I got a curious question, and maybe I could be proven wrong with these NILs and such. When does Caitlin Clark come out of school? When does Angel Reese come out? One of those sisters.
So hold on here. I think you're on to something very interesting, which is Seattle is one of the worst teams in the WNBA.
Zagak.
They, for lack of a better word, have an incentive to perhaps not try to win every game they can. Why?
And by all means, for lack of a better words, as you said, by all means.
And so we're looking at a team that could greatly benefit from the arrival of a player like Caitlin Clark. She's going to be entering her senior year. I do believe she has more years of eligibility, though. So there's an argument that she may not even come out this year, but she's eligible to come out. And so if you are the Seattle Storm, you definitely want to be in a position to be able to draft one of these players. The same can be said of Angel Reese of Louisiana State University. She too, Juju, is entering her senior year. She may have another year of eligibility. I cannot confirm or deny right now. But in terms of eligibility for the draft, she is eligible. And so if you're Chicago, if you're Seattle and you're trying to build for the future, I mean, we've seen it so many times in the past. The Phoenix Mercury were terrible, and they got Diana Taurasi. Then they were terrible years later, and they got Brittany Griner. You've got Brianna Stewart. You've got Sabrina Ionescu. There have been many, many players who have arrived to decrepit, dilapidated WNBA situations and changed those fortunes almost overnight. So who's to say?
Who is to say? And we all know that Seattle Storm, they are used to having superstar point guards. Superstardom point guards. Salute to Sue Bird. She just went out. They would love to have another one. They would love to have somebody bringing tickets in because they are well received in Seattle. They love that Storm up there. So if they give them somebody to come see like Caitlin Clino or Angel Reno, holy moly, it's going down. Storm, salute to y'all. Get it together.
Let's move on.
Appreciate y'all, man.
Thanks for watching
That looks like Kermit.
Yeah,
when he
that's what I'm doing.
Oh, okay.
Thanks for watching Oddball.
That's not what Kermit sounds like.
I know, but I can't do ventriloquism and a Kermit voice at the same time.
All right. Nope. Hit to the side. There you go.
Like that? Thanks for watching.
No, I'm doing so you don't have to worry about it.
Oh. I was like, cool. They need me a close-up for my ventriloquism. Okay. One.
That was one by itself right there. Now we're doing it.
Ready? 1, 2.